Keeping excellence in mind, where the coach can unwind. And if you parents need advice, well, don't think twice. For everything you need to know, it's the Dr. Casey Show. The Dr. Casey Show.
Further, because I have a problem as a sports psychologist with the way that Coach Pete Carroll's behavior has been interpreted by the media from the press conference. All right. So for everyone who thinks that Coach Carroll is just a fun, positive coach who happens to win a lot, well, we need to talk about this because there's a lot more that goes into being someone like Coach Pete Carroll. And his behavior isn't surprising to me at all from the press conference. In fact, I'm not shocked by it or disappointed by it. And also, for those of you who are having a hard time understanding Mark Sanchez's decision, well, you know what? I'm all for it. And I'm going to explain why on today's show. So let's break down, first of all, Coach Carroll's decision and in terms of his behavior. If you're having a hard time understanding someone's behavior, look back to what you know about them as a person, their value system, and it might help to shed some light on what you're scratching your head about. So I started to think about, what do I, Dr. Casey, as someone who sat one-on-one with Coach Carroll, know to be true about this exceptional coach? Well, first of all, we all know he's positive. Coach Carroll lives by this. This isn't just something he happens to think about from time to time. And my favorite quote is when he says, you know, something good is just about to happen. Something great is just about to happen. So when you're a positive person and you're positive about your number one quarterback, you're going to have a hard time watching them go. And the second thing we need to respect about Coach Carroll and recognize is how passionate he is. This isn't something in terms of the bounce in his step and the smile on his face that goes away when the cameras aren't there. This is who he is as a person. He is also passionate about being true to himself and being true to his players. So don't expect for him to hide his true feelings. That's just not who he is. The third thing we need to think about, and what I know to be true about Coach Carroll, is that he's not just happy with a bounce in his step. The man wants to win. This is how he's been so successful, combining all of these things and living that on the field, exemplifying that for his athletes every day. He is competitive in also the way that he is positive and passionate. So if you're competitive and you're seeing your number one leader on the field about to forego a fifth year of eligibility when you're competing for a national title every year, why are we surprised that he's not happy about it? Come on, that's not his job, and I'm not surprised about it by all. But finally, what I know to be true about Coach is that he does cares deeply about every one of his athletes and every cause that he connects himself with. And this came through when I was reading his recent comments that the press was finally getting to. When asked, would you have done or said the same thing if it was your own child, if it was your son? And his answer was absolutely yes, because this is what I firmly believed. And when you consider all the things I just said, is it starting to make some sense? All right. Now, finally, as a psychologist, I was thinking about this and I was thinking, yeah, but this has been a different kind of a press conference than what we've seen from Coach before when players announce. And I personally believe that the personality match between Coach Carroll and Mark Sanchez it's more congruent, meaning that Mark has more of the same qualities that I just listed in a way that's similar and parallel to Coach Carroll than any of the previous quarterbacks we've seen coming out of USC under his tutelage. And in that way, I think this is a hard thing for Coach to see happen because he's going to miss Mark in a unique and a different way. So, I just want you to sort of back off. I think all of the other comments that I've seen from the media that Coach's behavior at the press conference is going to decrease Mark's ability to make a strong entrance into the draft is just nonsense, because everything I just said is known to anyone who's involved in the NFL draft decision-making process. Everyone knows Pete and they know Mark, and they're going to have all of the data in front of them, and they have relationships with these men. None of them are going to take it the wrong way. And let's be honest, I think a lot of the media was just frustrated. They had nothing else to comment on because Coach wasn't there to give them additional quotes. So there you go. That's Dr. Casey's analysis and intervention. And I've just got one final thing to say about Mark Sanchez and his decision before we move on to our topic today. Congratulations, Mark. Because a lot of people don't enjoy when athletes move on. So for those of you that are having a hard time with it, I want you to think about this. If a student came to you after 4 years of attending an exceptional university like USC and said, well, I've done my time, I'm leaving with a 4-year degree, I have an exceptional job offer that I'm excited about, by the way, it's got a great signing bonus, and I'm going to go out and I'm going to make something of myself with everything I've received from my university and who I am as a person. Would you turn around to that athlete and say, you took a few classes in this declared minor, and if you stuck around a little bit longer, you'd have a double major? Are you kidding? So let's get behind Mark for the adult decision he made. He's leaving with a degree. He feels prepared. And if history is any indication for future success, given the way Mark has handled himself through so many life transitions, I'm excited to watch him dazzle us all on Sundays. So, as a former Trojan, as a former Diablo, I have to say, fight on, Mark. Good luck.